إله إلا الله.
بسم الله والحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وصحبه وعلى أما بعد فأعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله حق تقاته ولا تموتن إلا وأنتم مسلمون. رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي واجعل لي وزيرا من أهلي آمين يا رب العالمين. Before I can start the khutbah, I just want to make few du'as. First, remember our brothers and sisters and our kids in Gaza, in Palestine. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give them the status of shuhada. Ameen ya Rabb. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless the land of Sham, bless the people of Syria, make Syria the land of revival of a true Islam and the starting point, just like at the time of Salahuddin Ayyubi, Sham and Syria was a starting point towards Aqsa. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make it like that. Ameen ya Rabb. Because we are living in America, we should not have assimilationist mentality. So we believe that our new year starts from Hijrah calendar. But at the same time, we should not have even isolationist mentality. Rather, it should be positive integration. So when we see people around us making New Year resolution, there is nothing wrong in making New Year resolution as long as it's Sharia compliant. And by the way, gym membership during this time of the year is skyrocketed. In February, it will come down again. That's a different story. So there is nothing wrong to take care of your body. We Muslims, we should be taking care of our body. What is important for us, and that is the focus of my khutbah, is to take care of our relationship with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala also. And if you have to give any priority, then this will take precedence. So in today's brief khutbah, I'm going to mention some practical aspects of working on the character, especially one aspect of character, and that is have an easygoing personality. And when I say character is different than reputation, we in the modern world have messed up with the definitions. Reputation is how people see you. Character in Islam, how Allah sees you. And unfortunately, social media and technology is making it worse. So a person sitting in his house, having grumpy face the entire day, but for 1 second he will have a smiling face because he wants to update his Facebook or Instagram. That's reputation, Habibi, that's not your character. What we will focus today is not reputation, rather your character. How Allah sees you, not how people sees you. And you know, we have this dichotomy, unfortunately, most of us, including myself. I'm not exempting myself. All of us have this dichotomy, and we are struggling that we have a demeanor of a nice person in public. We have a face of Musa alayhi salam in public, but in private we have heart of Fir'aun. Our real monster come out in our private life. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protect us all. Some of us have this hypocrisy or dichotomy, and for some of us, they don't even have this dichotomy. They are Fir'aun in public and in private. May Allah protect us all. Then there is also living in the West, living in America, living a real life. You will going to see a layer which some people have, a layer of double standard. When they are in their work, dealing with David and Samantha, you will see them smiling. Same Muhammad, same Maryam, when they are at their work, when they are in their school, they will have a smiling face. They will have a lot of respect. No honking in the work parking lot. They would hold the door so that their supervisor can cross. So much respect. And don't take me wrong, it's actually a good, praiseworthy trait to have this kind of character. But what happened to same Muhammad and same Maryam when they will come to IACC or the masjid? There is no respect, there is no smile, you're not holding the door. See the honking in the masjid parking lot as soon as Jumu'ah will be over. Wallahu al-musta'an wa alayhi tuklan wa la hawla wa la quwwata illa billahi al-aliyyil azim. We have to finish this dichotomy. We have to be nice also with the people who are praying with us. One disclaimer before I can start, I just want to mention two things. Importance of being easygoing and practically speaking, how to apply from the life of Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. But just one or two disclaimers before I can start. This is not an easy speech to give. From a khatib perspective, from an imam perspective, from a speaker perspective, whenever you hear us giving about we should have nice character, we should be nice husband, we should be nice wife, we should be nice kids, these are not easy topics for us. Don't idolize speakers. People of Dallas, are you listening? Don't idolize speakers. Speakers like me sometimes have more issues than you. If you want to give any compliment, just make dua for us. That may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us seamless harmony between our public and private life. Ameen ya Rab. But don't idolize us. If you want to take anyone as an ideal, not idol, ideal, then it have to be Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. لو أن الدنيا تدوم لأهلها لكان رسول الله حيا وباقيا. Okay, now what is easygoing person in Islam? By the way, when we say Islam, it will be different than modern psychology books. And I'll tell you how. In Islam, an easygoing person, from a Sharia compliant way, will be defined as a person, a brother or sister who is humble, who is approachable, who is accessible, who is easy to talk to, who is easy to work to, who is easy to deal with. That person will be considered as an easygoing person. But there's a difference. An easygoing person in Islam doesn't mean that this person will going to compromise on his values. He stays firm on his primary morality values. Because if you don't stand for anything, you will fall for everything, as Malcolm X said. But yet, he's easy to deal with. He's firm on his principle, but he's easy to deal with. This is an easygoing person from an Islamic perspective. By the way, there is one misunderstanding. When we say about easygoing person doesn't mean that this person is naive or lazy or cowardly. An easygoing person in Islam doesn't mean that he is non-confrontational all the time and he's not standing firm on the occasions of justice. Rather, an easygoing person in Islam, that whenever there is an oppression or zulm, this person will going to stand for the cause of justice. Like, for example, if you see a brother, let's say it's a husband in the parking lot, hitting his wife, pulling the hijab, a brother is pulling the hijab of her sister, you cannot say at that time, no, I'm an easygoing person, I'm a non-confrontational person, I'm a non-argumentative person, I won't interfere. At that time, your easygoing personality is an idol, which is stopping you to achieve a higher goal. For us, these character traits like easygoing personality is not a goal, rather a mean to achieve a higher goal. But the problem with the modern psychology, they have removed the higher goal from their life and the means became the goal. This is a major difference. So for us, we need to interfere because for us, the ultimate pleasure and the ultimate reward is to seek Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala himself and the divine justice system which he gave. Now with that, what is an easygoing personality? Or how we are going to define and how we're going to achieve an easygoing personality. But before I can tell you how we are going to achieve an easygoing personality, let me tell you a few hadiths about the importance of easygoing personality. Just two hadiths. First hadith mentioned in Tirmidhi, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam says, "Man kana layyinan hayyinan sahlan harramahu Allahu ala an-nar." Wallahi, this is such a beautiful hadith. Look at the wordings. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, when I say Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, you have to say, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, this individual, brother or sister, he will be forbidden from hellfire. He will be forbidden, haram, from hellfire. We all want this quality, right? What are those qualities? No rocket science. You don't need a PhD to understand this. There are three qualities Rasulullah will going to include in this. And another hadith, he will add four, so I'll tell you four qualities. First, whoever is layyina, you can say kind, soft, kind-hearted, then hayyina, polite, lenient, and sahla, easygoing person. No rocket science at all. Just work on your character development. Work on your self-development. Kind-hearted person, polite, lenient, kind, soft, and easygoing person. And in fourth quality mentioned in different hadiths. Kullu qareebin. He's accessible. He's easily approachable. If you have these qualities, according to Sadiq al-Masduq, according to Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, harramahu Allahu ala nar, he will be forbidden, she will be forbidden from hellfire. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us these qualities. Ameen ya Rabb. Second hadith, about the importance of being easygoing. Rasulullah said, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam in Sahih Bukhari, رحم الله رجلا سمحا إذا باع وإذا اشترى وإذا اقتضى. Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, may Allah have mercy on that brother or sister. He said rajulun, but it can be applied to both the genders. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala have mercy on that individual who is easygoing in his financial dealings. Easygoing not only in the masjid, but even when you deal with them financially. You know, this is important because some of us are easygoing in masjid because it's easy for me to have this smiling face for a few minutes. But the moment you will deal with me financially, كَأَنَّهُ يَوْمَ الْقِيَامَةِ. That's the time I will show you my real Fir'aun. You know, there's a joke in Muslim community, unfortunately, that don't do business with Muslims. Wallahu musta'an. People have bad experiences, but we don't like stereotyping also. There are great Muslim entrepreneurs. There are great Muslim businessmen. But just like every community have black sheep, so we need to figure out that we need to work on ourselves and our community, inshallah ta'ala. Third thing, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said in Musnad Ahmad, narrated by Ibn Abbas radiyallahu anhuma, he said, Ismah yusmah lak. Ismah yusmah lak. He said, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, treat others with an easygoing attitude in masjid and family, in work. Treat others with an easygoing attitude. Make things easy for others. Allah in return will make things easy for you. Allahumma hasibna hisaban yasira. We all want easy accountability, right? See, these are the solutions. Work on the character. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us all the tawfiq. Now, how to have this easygoing attitude? I'll just give you 3-4 examples, biiznillah, and I'll conclude with the difference between us and the modern culture about easygoing personality. First, the first thing we can do from the practicality standpoint to make our personality, make our character, actually character is better than personality, and not going into the details, to make our character and to have this trait of easygoingness from the sunnah of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. First point is, we have to stay positive and we have to stop complaining about small issues in our life. We have to stop complaining about small issues. Stay positive, everyone. If you see, if you are not positive person, if you don't have the positive vibe, if you are just complaining about small issues, a time will come when you will become a very difficult person to deal with. If you have complained about everyone and everything except yourself, it means you are not working on yourself. Look at Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. I'll just mention 1 or 2 hadiths for this point. You know, many times we complain about we don't have this soda when we are having dinner, we don't have this juice, we don't have this particular food, we don't have this particular snacks. Most of them are garbage anyway. Now see what Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam used to do. عن أبي هريرة رضي الله عنه قال ما عاب رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم طعاما قط. He said, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, one of the habits of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, that he would never criticize any food presented to him. By the way, there are today, right now, as I'm speaking, there are brothers and sisters in the other part of the world who are not even having access to clean water. And look at our concerns. We have become so picky, complaining about small things. Habibi, have easygoing personality. I have seen people complaining when they will come to masjid and iftar dinner that today the masjid did not have a good iftar, only 1 or 2 items. Allahu Akbar. Work on self-development. Work on self-development. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us all the ability to do this. Ameen, Ya Rabb. You know, we all know the hadith about Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam going to Aisha after Salatul Fajr in Sahih Muslim, and he said to Aisha, Hal indaki shay? Aisha, do you have anything for breakfast? You know what Aisha said? Aisha said, no, we don't have anything. You know what Rasulullah said as an easygoing person, as an easygoing husband? He said, Inni idhan asum. Okay, we don't have anything, I'm fasting then. Then we might not get anything for the entire day, I'm fasting. Such an easygoing person. So many fights happen just because of the food. Next day, he fasted again. Assumed that we won't have anything. After Fajr, he went to Aisha, but just checked. Aisha, do we have anything today? Hal indaki shay? You know what Aisha said? Actually, we got something. Let me bring it for you. You know what Rasulullah said? Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, Inni izan uftir. If that's the case, I will break my fast because I was fasting again. Allahu Akbar. Rasulullah was an easygoing husband. Aisha was an easygoing wife. Aisha did not complain about the circumstances. Rasulullah was an easygoing husband. He did not make these materialistic things a cause for fight. You don't have food? No worries. You have Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You have your spouse. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us this wisdom. Ameen ya Rabb. You know how many people, subhanAllah, we have seen, and we have to see ourselves first and foremost before the others. In walimas, in the masajid, in family gatherings, they are complaining about these small issues and foods, and may Allah protect us all. May Allah make us easygoing. Ameen ya Rabb. Second point, how to become easygoing from the life of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Truly listen to someone when they are speaking. Be a good listener. Don't be pretentious. Don't multitask and listening to them. Listen. We have many public speaking workshops. We have many speakers here. We don't have good listeners now. We need listening workshop. Be a good listener. You know, many times people just talk in a gathering and they talk about me, my. They feel that universe should circulate around them in a gathering. No, Habibi, be humble. Everyone have their story. I'll tell you just one example from Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. There are so many. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam was giving Jumu'ah khutbah. You know, in Jumu'ah khutbah, the same Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, if you are talking about good things, faqad lagaut. In the Jumu'ah khutbah, you're not even supposed to talk about good things because you're listening to Jumu'ah khutbah. That's a useless thing. Even talking about good things is haram. Now Rasulullah is giving khutbah. A companion stood. This is mentioned in Sahih Bukhari. And during the Jumu'ah khutbah, he starts saying, O Prophet of Allah, our wealth is being destroyed. Our wealth has been destroyed. And our means of transportation has been cut off. Please make dua for us. During the Jumu'ah khutbah. You know what Rasulullah said? Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam raised the hands and made dua for this individual. He could have said, no, you cannot speak during the Jumu'ah khutbah. And by the way, generally you cannot speak out during the Jumu'ah khutbah. But scholars say based on this hadith, that in the case of emergency, you should consider the needs. But did you see, come out of the fiqh discussion, did you see something? How easygoing personality Rasulullah had, sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Third, whenever we are talking about becoming easygoing person, be generous in giving compliments. Be generous, charitable in giving compliments, in motivating people. You know, we are very generous when it comes to money, mashallah, mashallah. But that's not the generosity because of the capitalistic mindset. That's our central domain, how we think. We only think generosity equals to finance. No. Generosity, ghina, concept of generosity is not related to finances only. Generosity is a spiritual concept. You will have generosity in your heart, which reflects in your money, which reflects in your words, which reflect in your actions. You are generous with your approach, with your words. You know, many times, and I'm saying this to myself and to all, we are often stingy when it comes to complimenting. When it comes to criticism, we are very generous, mashallah. Mashallah. Look at the board members. You just got selected. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protect you all from the backbiting. Ameen ya Rabb. I'm not the board member of any masjid. They are not paying me anything extra. But the amount of gossiping, tarnishing the reputation of the board members, imams at least get some respect. But the board, it's wajib, it feels like, that community have to gossip and backbite these board members who have given 2 or 4 years in their tenure without getting any paycheck. How many of us have come to compliment them that you are doing something important we couldn't do? May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless you. Just be generous and be genuine. Don't overload them with the compliments when it's unnecessary, but give whenever they do something good. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us tawfiq. And then provide constructive feedback also. If you'll provide just constructive feedback without complimenting, that's also not the sunnah, because Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam was talking to Abu Zar Ghafari radiyallahu anh. Look at his easygoing personality and balanced personality. He said to Abu Zar Ghafari radiyallahu anh, when he said something offensive about the color of a black companion, he says, Ya Aba Zar innaka umrun fika jahiliya. Oh Abu Zar, today you have proved that you have some characteristics of the ignorance. Such a criticism, constructive criticism. But the same Abu Zar, listen, in Ibn Majah, he was known for his zuhud, for asceticism. He said, Rasulullah said to Abu Zar, Ma adhallatil khadra, wala aqallatil ghabra, min dhi lahjatin asdaqa min Abi Zar. That among my companions, Abu Zar is the most truthful companion. He's giving constructive feedback when Abu Zar needed that. But he's also complimenting Abu Zar. The problem with us, we forget the complimenting and we only provide constructive feedback. Sometimes actually it's destructive. We even remove constructive. So don't be stingy. If you want to be easygoing, motivate people. Compliment people. One of the other hadith, subhanAllah, Bilal radiyallahu anh. You know the background of Bilal radiyallahu anh. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said to Bilal, he says, Ya Bilal, حدثني بأرجع عملا عملته في الإسلام فإني سمعت دفن عليك بين يدي في الجنة. He says, Ya Bilal, what action you did after accepting Islam, I have heard your footsteps in front of me in Jannah. Did you see that he is encouraging and complimenting people? And then another black female companion, Ayman. He said to Ayman, Man sarrahu an yatazawwaja imra'atan min ahli al-jannah falyatazawwaja Ayman. Subhanallah. Whoever wants to marry a lady of Jannah, they should marry Ayman. Complimenting, motivating, making people feel good about themselves under the boundaries of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. When you talk about sunnah, this is also sunnah, by the way. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us all tawfiq. Ameen ya Rabb. The last thing we can do many things, but obviously we have limited time. The last thing we can do is that have empathy. Empathy. You know, the ability to understand another person's perspective, where they are coming from, putting yourself in the shoes of others. That's called empathy. You know, if your boss is going through a, let's say, stressful time at the work, it's easy to feel bad if he is not talking to you in an appropriate way. But if you know that he's going through a divorce, tough divorce, then instead of feeling bad, you will feel sorry for him. Right? Our community members are going through a tough life, right? People in your life, whether in your community, family, work, school, may be upset with you because of the things they are going in their life. Instead of feeling bad all the time, maybe you will feel sorry for them, and maybe you can do something to help them. I'm not saying take consistent abuse. I'm not saying that. But I'm saying how to control yourself or your psyche to change the perspective, have a paradigm shift. When Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala talks about the Ibad ar-Rahman, Allah says, وَإِذَا خَاطَبَهُمُ الْجَاهِلُونَ قَالُوا لَهُمْ أَنْتَ جَاهِلٌ لَا قَالُوا سَلَامًا. When Jahil person talks to you, when a harsh-going person, when a Jahil person talks to you, they say, who is Ibad ar-Rahman? Salama. In a peaceful way, they conclude the conversation. You know, I will finish with this hadith, that how easygoing was Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And there are many hadiths, but I'll just mention one because of the time. Once Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam was walking in Sahih Muslim and Sahih Bukhari, and he saw a woman was crying over the grave. It's mentioned that her baby died. And you know how the mother feels when this happens. So Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam passed by her and he advised this woman, Ittaqiyallah wasbiri. Woman, have patience of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and have taqwa of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, have consciousness of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. She did not recognize who this person is. This person is Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. You know what she said? And she said something which is very important for us to remember. She said, Ilayka anni. You know how to translate this Ilayka anni? Ilayka anni means, stay away from me. To Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, stay away from me. In a slang language, if you want to translate ilayka anni, it's mind your own business. Then she said, فَإِنَّكَ لَمْ تُصَبْ بِمُصِيبَتِي. You don't have any idea of what I'm going through. Just take a pause here. Rasulullah have a better idea of what she's going through. You know why? Because 3 sons of Rasulullah passed away in his life. Not 1, 3. You know, Rasulullah was advising her to be patient, but his patience was tested. Allahu Akbar. Many times we advise community members, and then we are tested in the same regard, right? Rasulullah left. As an easygoing person, he did not react. Then this woman was told that this was Allah's messenger. She went to apologize. And Rasulullah ﷺ did not make a scene. He's an easygoing person. He said these beautiful words. He says, إِنَّمَا الصَّبْرُ عِنْدَ الصَّدْمَةِ الْأُولَى. That if you wanted a better reward, then you should be patient from the first moment as calamity hits you. That's it. Such an easygoing person. Rasulullah ﷺ showed understanding. He showed patience. He showed comfort during the hardship which he was facing. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make us all easygoing. Ameen, Ya Rabb. Allahu Akbar. نحمده ونصلي على رسوله الكريم أما بعد فأعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. Just very quickly, the last point. Modern society, where we are living in, for last few decades now, have officially removed Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala from all the collective spheres of life. They have removed Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala from politics, #secularism. They have removed Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala from economics. You have these capitalism and the socialism, these things. And now, even in social life, there is only symbolic God we worship because God is reduced to the category of religion. What it impacts to my khutbah is that when you discuss about character, when you discuss about ethics, in colleges, when they teach you business ethics, the ethics and the character in the modern language doesn't have to do anything with the category of religion because they have privatized everything. We Muslims, we should not buy this. We Muslims, we should not believe in this false dichotomy. Our character, our ethics come from the source of Allah and His Messenger. This is very important. Bring Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala back in your character. Have easygoing personality from an Allah-centric lens, not from your personality development course perspective only. When you are going to have Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in your life, there are so many benefits, but one benefit is that when you are easygoing, when you are working on your character, because of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, not because of your reputation, but because of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you will be consistent. When things are good, you will be smiling. But when things are challenging, because you are doing it for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you will still manage a smile because it's sunnah. But if you are doing this for your personality, not for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, then you will smile when things are good. But you will have a grumpy face when your ego is not boosted. Because every effort was for your ego, was for yourself, not for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us sincerity, humbleness to do things for His sake, inshallah ta'ala. Allahumma ansur al-Islam wal-Muslimin. Allahumma ghzul man khazala deen Muhammadin sallallahu alayhi wa sallam wa la taj'alna ma'ahum. Allahumma la tada' lana dhanban illa ghafarta, wa la hamman illa farrajta, wa la daynan illa qadayta, wa la hajata min hawa'ij dunya wal akhirah illa qadaytaha ya arhamar rahimin, wa la maridan illa shafayta, wa la maytan illa rahimta, wa la dalan illa hadayta arhamar rahimin. أقول قولي هذا واستغفر الله لي ولكم ولسائر المسلمين والمسلمات فقيم الصلاة.
الله أكبر الله أكبر أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمد رسول الله حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح قد قامت الصلاة قد قامت الصلاة الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله.
استقيموا واعتدلوا ولا تختلفوا بين تفرحكم صد الخلل. الله أكبر. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك وتبارك اسمك وتعالى جدك ولا إله. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين. والعصر إن الإنسان لفي خسر إلا الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات وتواصوا بالحق وتواصوا بالصبر. الله أكبر. سمع الله لمن حمده. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين. قل هو الله أحد الله الصمد لم يلد ولم يولد ولم يكن له كفوا أحد. الله أكبر. سمع الله لمن حمده. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. اللهم صل على محمد. اللهم بارك. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله.